Okay, whenever you're ready, you go ahead and just start.
Hi, I'm Gerald Oakley, to give my full Christian name. My father was Frank Oakley, Francis, to give him his full name. He was a pilot during the Second World War. He did his training at Falcon Field. When we were younger, my father spoke very little about his time at Falcon Field. I think like everyone during the conflict, the Second World War, they'd all done their bit. So in everyone's eyes, their own parents had been soldiers, airmen, sailors. They were their own heroes. So my father, although being special to me and my sister and obviously the family, to everyone else, he was just a normal guy. He'd done his bit, come back, gone into Civvy Street again, been demobbed, gone to Civvy Street again, and carried on from there. So it wasn't seen then as anything special. Nowadays, you ask somebody, I was a Spitfire pilot, whoa, you're an instant hero. But say back then, there was nothing special, or it was considered nothing special. During our early life, as I say, being brought up, he didn't mention much about the war, as most people that generation did. So we knew he'd been to America, we knew he'd been to Phoenix, we knew he'd been to Falcon Field. And we did hear something about his experiences, especially as my sister Janice has said, about banana splits and that sort of thing. But other than that, he mentioned very, very little about what his actual experiences had been across there. It was only at my sister's wedding when we received this letter, or he received this letter about the Falcon Field Association, that things started to come to life as to what had happened then in his time that he'd had there. And so from then, even though then he went with my mother to reunions and that sort of thing, a lot of that was still kept, I think, to themselves. They were very private in what they did. And only once my mother passed away and he passed away, and all the bits and pieces that he kept, the memorabilia, when that started to come out, that's when we started finding out more and more about what he'd done. But my sister Janice has done far more research into his life than I have. I know bits and pieces, the important bits I know, but a lot of the background information, I have access to it, obviously they've got it, but I haven't been through it type thing.
What is it, was there any, other than the banana split, was there any other memory that your father shared with you that stands out in your mind?
Not particularly. That seems to be, I mean, probably for me being 8, 9, 10 years old then, possibly, around that age, to me that would mean more. At the time, that food was more important than what he discussed in it. To say, if he said, oh, I was flying this airplane, yeah, you're flying the airplane, yeah. But I had bananas, oh, you had banana split. This would be more that thing.
So now, what would you say to the people of Falcon Field at the 80th reunion, if you were there?
Have a good time, enjoy yourselves, and remember, it's all in the memory.
Thank you. That's perfect. Okay, anything else you want to add?
Not that complete, unless you want me to go into any other details. So I think his after war or his after training experience, that sort of thing. There's nothing that I can really think of. I know he obviously went on to become.
Okay, I do have a question. Did your father's career influence your career?
Not particularly.
Oh, really?
No. I never wanted to fly. And I think probably I wanted to do electronics more than anything. As a kiddie, I was into making crystal radios, that type of thing. And that had more to do with it. I went into the Air Force, joined the Air Force as an apprentice. Became a long-range radar technician for 20 odd years. It was more that side. I think the fact my father being in the Air Force probably influenced which service I would go into, or the route I would go to, but not a major direction to follow.
Okay, what am I missing, Vince?
Yeah, I think that's all right.
Okay, grand. See, wasn't that painless?
No, no. Oh no, yeah,
See,
just
that was
covering
really
me. Yeah,
painless.
yeah.